My name is MacKenzie and I'm the Commercial Director for Cubex Contracts. Part of my role is I look after the fleet insurance and the fleet cars. I originally approached Denovo to help with the corporate driver training because we have trackers fitted in all of our vehicles which give me harsh driving reports. And I had a particular project manager who drives about 20,000 miles a year for business use, who was constantly coming up with alerts for harsh driving. Wasn't necessarily speeding, it was points like fast cornering, aggressive braking, aggressive acceleration, and the report was showing me that between sort of 25 and 30% of the time he was driving in potentially an aggressive manner. Well, I had quite a few conversations with the project manager concerned, and he was generally quite confused. He didn't think that his driving was, particularly aggressive at all. Over a period of time, it didn't improve. So I thought the best thing to do is to see if we can get him a little bit of advanced driver training, and I contacted Denovo to support with that and sent him along for a driving lesson. The benefit of the training was the driver came back. We obviously talked about the learning and how the training day went, and the following week when I looked at the tracker reports, the aggressive driving alerts had dropped by over 50%. So we're now looking at about 12% of the time, which was in line with other people in the business, in fairness, as opposed to between sort of 25 and 30% of the time. So it had a real impact on his driving and his awareness of actually what he was doing and how he was approaching the driving and whether or not he was actually focused on the job in hand when he was behind the wheel or thinking about something else. And it made me feel much more confident that I was allowing the driver out on the roads without being a potential risk to himself, to other road users, or indeed to our company insurance. I would rate the training about 9 out of 10. The reason I haven't given it as a 10 is the driver still isn't 100% convinced that the problem was all down to him. He thinks that his tracker wasn't quite working properly, but I would say sort of a 9 out of 10 definitely. I would be happy to recommend the corporate driver instruction to any business, particularly anyone who does have drivers who are perhaps driving 20,000 miles plus every year for work. It's made a significant impact on my confidence with that individual driver. It's prevented us having to perhaps go down a capability issue. It's made our insurance look more attractive as well, so less likely now to have accidents and less likely to be costing the business money ultimately. Well, if anyone hadn't actually thought about corporate driver training, I would definitely say just get on the phone and speak to Denovo. Ask them exactly what the training entails, what the instruction covers. I certainly actually did the training myself before I asked a member of the team to go on it, and I certainly found it very instructive. It certainly improved my driving. Ultimately, I've got a lot more confidence now in the drivers, and I know that if there are issues, I can just pop them onto that instruction and they'll come out of it a much safer driver.